friends, this is Stephanie Mueller with the Medina Chamber, and guess where we're coming to you from today? I'll give you two guesses. We are coming to you from the former Chippewa Lake Amusement Park, and we are super excited to give you a sneak peek at what's to come here. So we're going to introduce you to our friend Nate, who is the director of the Medina County Park District. So Nate, tell us a little bit about the location we're in.
Yeah, thank you. Hello, Chamber friends. This is one of the most exciting projects we have going right now. Can't go anywhere without somebody asking about the amusement park. This property hosted an amusement park on the eastern shores of Chippewa Lake for 100 years, and then it was abandoned for more than 40 years. We purchased this property in 2020, one of the few bright spots of 2020, but in the next couple years we'll be doing a huge restoration project and adding public access so you can come in here and explore what we've done and how nature has reclaimed this beautiful spot.
Well, we appreciate the sneak peek, and we're going to show you a couple other locations. All right, so we took a little walk and now we ended up here. So Nate, tell us a little bit about what we're looking at.
Well, the lake, obviously, but why are we here? Well, this is the largest inland glacial lake in the state of Ohio. So naturally formed by glaciers thousands and thousands of years ago, and it's simply gorgeous. You're looking west now, and much of that viewshed is protected by the Park District. So several years from now, when we develop this property, this will become the prime spot to view sunsets. In the short term, the reason this is significant, both from the cultural perspective of the amusement park, but also the lake, it has been plagued by harmful algal blooms for several years. And so the H2 Ohio program here that is for wetland creation, restoration, and water quality, over the next few years, this park district is getting more than $1.5 million to do restoration on 3 sites within the watershed. One is north of the lake, one is the amusement park property, and one is south of the lake. So that will really be spearheading or making the restoration effort take off very quickly here within the next couple years. We're looking at the old children's roller coaster. And this is an example of one of the neat historic things that we want to keep. Our restoration work will take place in the next few years, and my goal is to have some public access by 2025. This little roller coaster is an example of an interpretive piece, something that we would preserve to show people past use of the property. You'll meet Shelly Tender pretty soon. She's our interpretive services manager, and she and the naturalists for the Park District do a lot of programs about the natural world, but also, cultural history, and they interpret things about our parks, past uses of properties and whatnot. Certainly this lends itself to that for a lot of cool programming opportunities, and just a really neat spot that just a few years from now people will see alongside a trail. Really makes this a unique destination, not only for Medina County, but for Northeast Ohio.
Well, Nate, we appreciate the opportunity to take a sneak peek at Chippewa Lake Amusement Park, and we're excited to see what else the Park District offers.
Well, thank you. Appreciate it.
We are here now with our friend Shelly. So Shelly, tell us a little bit about your role with the Park District.
Well, welcome to the Alderfer-Chatfield Wildlife Sanctuary, and yes, my name is Shelly Tender. I'm the Interpretive Services Manager for Medina County Parks. My role here is to oversee the education, which means all the programs and events that occurred in the parks. So here, where we are today and throughout the entire district. The Alderfer-Chatfield Wildlife Sanctuary is 248 acre parcel of land. What a wildlife sanctuary means in Medina County Parks is that we have a little bit more protected environment and limited activities. So here at this site, we don't allow picnicking and some other types of more active recreation like bicycles and things of that nature. It's more of a place to just be, outside and enjoy and learn about nature. The Oenslager Nature Center is here on site on the property. It was named after, both the property and the building were named after Ruth Alderfer-Oenslager, who donated this a part of the property. She donated 103 acres back in 1975, and one of her reasons for doing so was so that it would benefit future residents to learn about nature. So one of her stipulations was that the park would always be used for outdoor education.
So Shelley, on the property there's various habitats. So tell us a little bit about what we're looking at here.
So right here we have, it's a small pond. We actually have two ponds. We passed one just before we got to this. It's called our deep water pond. And we use these a lot in our educational programs with school kids. We'll investigate, the wildlife that lives within the different habitats. So in the pond, obviously, we're looking for snakes and turtles and macroinvertebrates, which means all the little critters, the little insects that live under the water's surface. We have, right over there, you'll see the big brown building. That is called a bat condo. That is a structure that was put in place for migrating bat species that come back in the spring. And they'll use that as what they call a maternity roost. So females will use that. They'll have their young in there. They'll stay in there during the day. And then they can come out to feed at night. And this is perfectly situated because bats eat insects. So when they come out at night, there's lots of insects around the pond. So it's perfect habitat for them. Our wetland is one of the most popular features at the Alderfer-Chatfield Wildlife Sanctuary. People really enjoy it. One of the reasons being it's an accessible place within the park district. It's along our paved trail, which we only have one of here. So it's not too far from the building, and it's beautiful. So there's so much to see when you're in the wetland, especially at this time of year. As you can see, we have a variety of water lilies coming up. We have a yellow one over here that's called a pond lily, and then we also have these beautiful white and pink flowers. Those are called fragrant water lilies. Photographers love to take pictures of those. And then the wildlife that you can see here. If you're lucky enough, you may see a beaver. We have a resident beaver that lives not too far, just over that way across the boardwalk. You may see a muskrat, a variety of bird species like red-winged blackbirds, wood ducks. It's a beautiful spot. This is our pine forest, so it's made up almost exclusively of white pines. They're a little over 50 years old. They were planted during the time when Ruth Oenslager lived here. So she and her husband George had these trees planted, so that's kind of how we know how old they are. It's another favorite destination within the parks. It's just so magical. The Alderfer-Chatfield Wildlife Sanctuary. It's also home to our Oenslager Nature Center. It's a 248-acre parcel of land here in Sharon Center. This is the hub of the education staff. It's where the naturalists are housed. We do tons of education programs here, both for the general public and for school groups. We're kind of the educational hub for the park district, so this is where the naturalists are housed. In addition to myself, there are 4 other naturalists, and then we also have a volunteer coordinator. So all of the volunteer activities that are done within the park district are also run through this office. But the center itself is a public space, so we greet visitors in non-COVID times. We will be opening again soon, and our hours will resume to Tuesdays through Saturdays 9 to 5 and Sundays 12 to 5 p.m. Outside of those times, we do have a gate that is locked, so people can't get in. But on those days, we welcome the public to come in just to look around, take hikes on their own, or enjoy any one of the many, many programs that we have.
And there's a library down here.
There
that you
is a
said that
library.
people really love to visit.
This is another favorite spot, especially for those folks who either can't go walking or maybe in the winter time. But we call it our library, but also our bird viewing area. So it's a great place to sit and watch the birds, especially when we feed them during the winter months. We'll see a great variety of birds here. If you look up above the windows, we have these nice pictures that show people all of the birds that you could potentially see right outside this window and at the different times of the year. So we'll have resident species that can be seen all year round. There are some visitors that only come during the winter that you can only see at that time, and then some that are only here in the summer.
And again, yet another reason to come back and visit multiple times.
Absolutely. One of my favorite things to do, and with the little kids, the preschoolers, they love to stand here and watch this little waterfall and pool because the frogs will sit out on the little rocks. So it's a great way to get up close.
Shelley, thanks so much for the amazing tour of this park. If people are looking for more information, where can they find it?
Folks can always visit our website at medinacountyparks.com to find information about all of the programs that we offer, both here at the Nature Center, our Nature Center in Brunswick, and any county park, because we do programs all throughout the county. And they can find hours of operation, trail maps, anything that you're looking for. If you want to become a volunteer, we also have a volunteer section on our website, so you can check that out and get an application.
So now that we visited a few of the Medina County Park District sites, Nate, is there anything else that you'd like to share about the Park District?
Yeah, I want to thank you all for joining us on this adventure. And I'd be absent-minded if I didn't remind you all that there are a lot of parks and preserves to explore this summer. Medina County Park District manages more than 7,000 acres, and we are actively looking for land to acquire for the sake of preservation. So if you have land that maybe you're considering selling or better yet, donating, we can certainly talk. But for all things Park District, I encourage you to visit our website, medinacountyparks.com.
And we will post that information at the end of this video, as well as tag it on the video for Facebook. And again, Nate, we definitely appreciate you and your team allowing us to take a behind-the-scenes look at this amazing asset to the county.
My pleasure, thank you.